Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. So for today's meditative session, Taurus, I got the 10 of Cups. I also heard like working on your upper chakras. I think this energy that's coming through has a lot to do with your emotions. I feel like this new beginning, for me, it starts in fire, but I feel like behind this passion is love, right? Behind this new beginning of like with wand energy, it's like this energy of the 10 of Cups, like this energy of what we actually, we're passionate, but it's about things that we have like this love for, right? And I feel like with the 10 of Cups, it's symbolizing to me, like the card in the Dreams of Gaia deck talks a lot about what I'm going through personally right now, so I'm like laughing. It's like talks about how you have the ability to change your reaction to something, right? Like somebody could try to piss you off and you could just walk away, or you don't have to engage. Like you can change the way that you act, right, in a situation, and that's what gives you all of this control, right? And I feel like that has something to do with your message, because that's what the 10 of Cups means in this deck. For others, it could just be like you thinking about like what you desire, right? Like the cup that you want to give, right? How you want like your family to look, like, you know what I'm saying? Like in the picture, they have like this couple together and like this happy family and this home. And it's like some of you could be thinking about that. For everyone, it's going to be different, but I feel like this energy is working on the upper chakras. I feel like from the heart up, so your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. So yeah, a lot of messages for you guys, Taurus, but again, I got the 10 of Cups. I think that's a really great energy. So let's pull some cards and see what we get. I feel like this message is very specific, Taurus, for somebody, so just take it if it resonates, and if it doesn't, leave it behind, right? So I feel like we have the King of Earth here in reverse, right? And I feel like this is you, Taurus, that at some point you weren't really like accepting the intuitive knowledge, right? Like the intuitive, like I feel like there's someone here that like wasn't working with spirit, and I want to say you're the King of Earth because we're talking about Taurus, right? So it's like someone who wasn't really, like, they were getting intuitive messages, they were getting a lot of, you know, when spirit wants us to know something and like you keep getting like this confirmation in your head, like maybe I'm doing this wrong, or like maybe this isn't like the right thing. But your pride, I feel like sometimes like people's pride takes over, right? Our pride can like take over, and it's like, no, like we're doing the right thing, like you're just, you know what I mean, like, no, that's like I want to do it, so I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, and it has like nothing to do with spirit, it has all to do with like our pride and like the message that we're choosing to kind of neglect. And I feel like that's why the King of Earth is in reverse here. I feel like it's like spirit was kind of leading us to something, right? Spirit is leading this person somewhere, and they weren't taking, right, like they weren't like going in the right direction possibly, and spirit kind of warned them, right? And I feel like that's why there's mental conflict over this 10 of Cups. I feel like there's something here that's been created that I don't think like resonates, or wasn't really supposed to be made, or it has something to do with someone's 10 of Cups. And I feel like that has a lot to do with, I feel like it has a lot to do with the emotional stability of a person, right? The family, like maybe you're like, this person is creating this whole life, but I don't know if this is exactly the direction that they wanted to go in, right? It's like you're not listening to spirit, and now you're wondering why your 10 of Cups, like this thing that you created isn't really resonating. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it can't resonate because I feel like we have someone else here. It's the feminine energy, right? The Queen of Fire. So we have a masculine and we have a feminine. This is the energy, not the gender, right? Whoever the Queen of Fire was, they are not kind of what Spirit had in mind for this person, right? Because I feel like here, this is the Queen of Fire, and I feel like the Queen of Fire is supposed to be someone who's like very, like in this picture with the 7 of Wands, it's like someone who is receptive, right? Someone who is like open to Spirit, someone who's like receiving downloads. But then with the Ace of Swords in reverse, it's like, is this person just putting on a facade, right? And I feel like that was like maybe a warning from Spirit about this person. And I feel like because someone was being stubborn, because someone didn't want to listen, because someone like followed pride, and maybe there's Leo, maybe yours is Leo in this chart, Taurus. But yeah, I feel like they weren't listening to the message of Spirit. So whatever like death and rebirth that Spirit had planned for them, like whatever deep action that Spirit had, like trying to help this person like get back on track, it was kind of lost upon them because they weren't listening to Spirit, right? So whatever they manifested wasn't going to be exactly like what they wanted to manifest because they were just working in ego. They were just working in pride, right? And here I have like the Queen of Fire with the Ace of Wands in reverse, right? It's like, I feel like it's like a false start with this person. And I feel like this person was thinking like that this person was intuitive and like receptive and like very like energetically like a match to them, right? I think this king thought that this queen was like an energetic match. But what I'm getting is that I feel like this person also doesn't like this person isn't really, like it's a facade, right? Like with the Ace of Swords in reverse, it's like this person pretends to be in this energy, but I feel like they're really not. So it's like two people that are working together, but it's on a relationship based on like lies, I want to say, because this person's working in ego and this person is like pretending to be something they're not, right? Like this person's pretending to be like a highly like intuitive, like, you know, I'm straight to the, you know, someone who like speaks, I want to say, it's not wisely, it's like speaks, you know, truth, and it might hurt someone's feelings, but they're, you know, like they're very like to the point, to the fact. And I feel like they acted like that, but they're not really. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like two people who are not really, I want to say like two people who weren't themselves maybe at that time. I see a lot of reversals, right? And it's like with 2 aces. So it's like very big energy, right? It's very big, like, I feel like it's very big decisions that are being made from two perspectives that are not, like 2 people who are not, like they're not balanced, right? They're not on the right track. So Spirit is like gearing them, right? And I feel like the person who had, both of them are not seeing, right? Like both of them are not seeing the like intuitive messages. This person is acting in pride and they like put emotions and they put passion behind a project, right? Like this king is the same king, right? So this person's like, they're working in pride and they're like, you know what, I'm not going to listen to Spirit. I'm not going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to put a lot of energy into this person. I'm going to put a lot of like time into this other person, this Queen of Wands. But what it leads to, I think, is like a false beginning or false hope or like something fake here, right? It's not fake. It's not that the relationship is fake. It's that these 2 people are not working in the right energy. So it's like this, whatever they produce, whatever comes out of this isn't going to be like abundant and fruitful, right? Because it's like 2 people working in energies that like this person's in reverse and this person's not, is like, it's like some sort of facade, right? So when the energy is put behind this, right, there's energy put here with the 8 of Wands and the King of Water. There's emotional energy. There's like actual physical energy and there's like emotions, right? And it's like, I feel like people are giving it their all with the King of Cups. I feel like it's like, I'm going to give it my all. And this has to work out because I'm giving it all my energy, right? I'm giving it all my time. And it's like, this is just coming out of pride, right? This is just coming out of like ego. This has nothing to do with like the divine plan, right? That this person has, right? You know, there's a path that we're supposed to be taking, and it's like this person got off the path and started going another way. And you can say, well, like, that's the whole point. Like, sometimes we have to learn a lesson. And it's like, yeah, I think this person is going to learn a lesson. This person is going to learn a lesson because, like, something wasn't able to be manifested, right? Like, this isn't able, I feel like this is like there's nothing coming from this. So it's like when you plant a tree and like the fruit that grows from it is all like rotted, like the fruit isn't good from the tree. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you had a lot of hopes and you watered it and you gardened this plant and you put a lot of energy and love into it, and then when when it bears fruit, it's like rotten fruit. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the fruit isn't coming out, like it's not edible, right? Like you can't eat it. And it's like, what the hell happened here? Like, why isn't this producing something abundant? But it's like, it has a lot to do with the people that are creating it. And that's why I feel like there's a lot of mental conflict over this 10 of cups. It's like someone's like realizing like, I don't know if this is like the right 10 of cups. I don't know if this is like exactly what I meant when I like planned my future. And it's like, how did I get this far and not like notice the signs kind of deal? And it's like, well, you didn't really notice them in the past, right? You just kind of were like, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do, this feels right. But it's like, was this even feeling right for this person? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they put this energy into something that they said they felt, but they were working in like ego and pride. So at what point like does this person turn around and say like, okay, now I'm like more aligned to myself, and it's like, okay, now none of this fits. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm working like this. I was working like this when I created this. I was working like this when I created this relationship. So like this new beginning it's not what I thought it was going to be, right? So it's like, now I'm flipped up, right? And now this doesn't seem right. Or maybe this person's still in reverse, but like there's something subconsciously coming to this person that this isn't right. And maybe to this other person too, right? It's like, maybe both people know that this is like there's something not right with this situation, right? And it has to do with like growth. It has to do with lessons that have to be learned. It has to do maybe with karma. There's like something here about like these people have to learn this lesson. So this is why they have to go through the cycle. And now this 10 of cups doesn't seem right. You know what I'm saying? Now this 10 of cups is like, there's mental conflict with this 10 of cups. It's like, okay, we created something. It's like, but I feel like it's like that fruit. It's that fruit it's not creating anything, right? There's no fruit born from this, right? Yeah, Taurus, I wish I had a better message. I just see like a lot of mental conflict over this 10 of cups. But I feel like if this is you that's in the situation, if you're the king or the queen, it's like the king has to kind of flip around, right? And realize like what was done. Like if this was all done because it's like for pride or for ego, and this wasn't done out of love, this wasn't done from the soul, that's why this isn't like bearing the right fruit, right? Like things have to be born from the soul, from love, from the proper things, right? It's like it's not gonna be created. It can't be created any other way. Like this is the only way to create something that, like this is the only way to create this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the one that you actually want, right? And I feel like both people are learning this lesson on intuition, the king and the queen. I think this other person also has like has to like do some deep, like I want to say like introspection, right? As to why, I don't know if there was anything even wrong with this person. I think it has a lot to do with the king. It's like this is the way they saw them. But was this person even putting on a facade? Was this the real them? And this person was just like putting them in they're like, oh, this person's like this, this, and this, and this. But meanwhile, they're not. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like they had these glasses on, these rose-colored glasses, and they're like, they chose to see this person in this light. Maybe there's actually nothing wrong with this Queen of Wands, and it all has to do with the king and his perspective. And he's like creating what he wants out in his head, right? But it's not real, right? So this person is just like, this other person is like actually who they are. But this like manifestation that they created isn't like with the right person. Do you know what I'm saying? Or there's something wrong about it, right? There's something that like, there's something just not working right here. The Ace of Wands is not upright. And it's like the intuitive hits about this person. Like this person may be like an amazing person. It's just like, this person's not for you, right? This could be like the karmic, honestly. Like it could be anybody. It's just like, you might have produced the karmic because of karma, maybe, I don't know, but you might have like produced this karmic because of you being in reverse, right? So it's like, if you're not in reverse, then who do you produce, right? Like who comes out of this scenario when you're not in reverse, right? When you're not acting in like greed, pride, ego, like you're not working from the soul, you're not working from love, right? So you're not going to be able to create a 10 of cups when the love is not right? When you're like, I mean, it's not that the love isn't right. It's just like this beginning isn't right? And I feel like maybe that's what this Queen of Wands is to this king. It's like a karmic that this person like, they're like, oh, but how did I end up with this person? It's like, well, you were working in this energy, right? So then that's why you attract this energy. And it's whatever lesson that you need to learn, right? So I feel like there's a major lesson being learned by Taurus right now, and it has a lot to do with what they manifested and in the energy that they manifested it in. Let's see if there's any advice. Okay, Taurus. I might read from the book a little bit because these are in reverse and I feel like they exactly match the situation you're going through. So I want to say with Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. It's like the reason this happened was because you weren't deep enough in your, I want to say like psyche, consciousness, right? Like your subconscious was screaming at you at the time and you weren't like deep enough into your own, I want to say like, again, introspection. Like you had to do some sort of introspection to realize like the message that were being given to you. But because you were working from, because of like where the energy you were working in, that's why you have like this present, right? And it's saying it's so funny. It goes exactly. It's like, don't talk yourself into diving deep into something just because you see the potential instead of what it really is, right? It's like, I feel like you saw the potential in this person, but you didn't see the reality of the situation, right? Because you were ignoring your intuition. So you went like 100% into something and it's like maybe you saw the potential, but you didn't see, like, you weren't looking at the actual person, right? And it's like, if you see the potential in someone, you think if you love them and support them, that they will be the person who knows and loves you beyond all others. Like, it's like, did you think like by giving your energy into this, like, again, it's like you thought that by giving 100% of your energy and like throwing all this energy into the situation, it was going to work out, right? Because it's like, that's a pride thing. It's like, well, if I give 100% of my time, then this has to work out, right? It says now is not a time for selective, limited perception that can lead to misjudgment. This is a time for going deep and being honest about what you find. Yeah, and like to dive deep and resurface, to choose again. Exactly. There's like a choice, right? There's a choice to like start again, right? Because I feel like this is like what you've created isn't what you what you want, and it's like, I am not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the situation because I understand it so well. And again, now you have koi fish spirit, right? There's always enough. And I feel like maybe this pride came from, like, this is a fear thing. This is fear, right? Like, is there enough? Is there enough? And it's like a fear-based mentality. And that's where this probably ego came out, right? Fear. It's like whatever your outer reflections are, they're temporary and they're reflecting what you set forth in the past. So the energy that you were in the past, this reality that you've created is a reflection of that. And that's why this is like conflicting, right? Like what you've created. It's conflicting because it was created from a past energy of fear, a past energy of ego. And that's why this is like, that's where this came from, right? This feeling, like this ego, this like this fear-based mentality led to your ego being like coming up and you not being able to decipher. So I feel like the guidance really is, again, to dive deep, to like let that side of yourself come out again, right? It might have came out, that ego comes out through maybe a hurt, maybe something like you went through something painful and you kind of turned that aspect of you on, and now it's like you want to turn it off, and you have to understand that it comes from fear. It comes from like a lack mindset, right? And the real guidance I feel like today is with Thecla, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and all places. I am my own. It's like you gave your power. I feel like maybe you gave your power away in some sort of aspect. Like you gave, like working in this energy, like gave your power away. And I feel like now is the time to actually be truly powerful, right? Yeah, it's like we have to take our power back. It's like you gave your power to that other side of you away. Like you gave your power to the ego. Instead of giving it to your soul and like the loving part of you, you gave your power away to the part of you that was like the one based in fear. It's like, picture you have two sides of yourself, right? You have a dark and a light. It's like, instead of it being 50 and 50, you gave 100% to the dark and 0 to the light. Do you know what I'm saying? So now the reality you created is based on that like 100% dark. And there's nothing wrong with the dark. It's just that it has to be balanced out with the light, right? There has to be like, I'm thinking like a pool, right? Like there has to be like no waves. It has to be like 50-50, and that's what keeps this like status quo, right? That's what it is, a status quo, like this equilibrium in ourselves. And it's like, if we give 100% to the ego, to the shadow, it's like, yeah, I just need you to help me with this. It's like you're not giving any to the light, right? And it's like the ego has this, I want to say like the ego has a mind of its own. I'm thinking of it as like an enemy. It's not an enemy. It's something we need to survive. But it's like, if you give 100% to the ego is going to create something like that the ego wants, right? And if you give 100% to the light, it's like the light is going to create something the light wants. It's like you are the status quo. You are the balance, right? So it's like creating something that's in balance with both aspects of yourself. And right now you created something from only one aspect of yourself. And that's why it doesn't feel right. And it's like, it's not feeling right in the soul. It's not feeling right in the heart, right? And remember I said it's like, it's the chakras. It's like from the heart up. Yeah, like we have the green, we have the blue. It's definitely from the heart, right? And they want you to take your power back, right? And taking your power back is like giving back to yourself, right? To that place of like balance, right? It's like you have the power to create like the life that you desire, right? So like claim the life that you desire, right? And that's like what your soul desires, right? Your heart. So yeah, Taurus, it's a tough read. I love you guys though. I know you're gonna like work through this energy. I mean, we all have to learn like this happens, right? It's like a normal process. It's a learning process. And this is like how we get more in touch with our soul. So, Taurus, I love you guys. And I'll see you guys next week.